Saturday morning. I'm going to go posh. I'm going to use a Martin de Condré posh soap. Very kind gift from Gary. Thanks, matey. Anyway, today, a little shave that you think might be interesting. My little pre-shave ritual, which is splash on with your fingers, just to start it off with. I must admit, this Martin de Condré, no detectable scent of any description, but I suspect it's quite old. Anyway, today's going to be a shootout. We're going to shoot out between 2 quarter hollows. And to celebrate, I thought, why not a posh soap? Bear with me, I'll just whip up a lather. There we are. So I'm using a smaller brush today, and I don't know why. It's the silly season for me. It's the first frost is due tonight. It's a cold morning, and I'm going to go down to the seafront with my mate, Gianluca, who's a very keen skater, and we need to keep fit. And I'll have a nice fresh face after a good quick shave. Right, that's it. That's going to do me. I'm not very particular, as you know, if you follow my channel, about scents and about lathers. I'm happy to shave with anything. Anyway, first things first, make sure your fingers have no soap or lather on them, or you're going to be in accident and emergency. We don't want that. Right, this is the shootout. It's going to be between 2 quarter hollows. The unbelievably beautiful Rigarazor, which I've had for a little while. It used to scare me because it's such a brutal looking beast, but in fact it's a beautiful razor. And an exactly the same quarter hollow Max Spreacher. Yes, they've got different points to them, but believe me, the edges are both extremely good. So let's start off with the Max Spreacher. Oh, that is beautiful. I put the edge on this myself, so I've only got myself to blame. This one is ex-customer of Matt Robbins. It had a minor fault, and I must admit Matt did a very nice job of saving it, but the fault was still inside the steel of the blade. It in fact had a warp, which I removed. Great consternation was caused amongst the Spreacher lovers, who said, no, it can't have a warp, it's a Max Spreacher. Yeah, well, it did. Anyway, be that as it may, it's a beautiful, beautiful razor, so there's no complaints from me. Let's put him down, and let's try the Rigger. They both hanging hair tested very, very well. As you know by now, anybody that watches my nonsense, I will not shave with any blade that doesn't pass the hanging hair test in both directions. Now, I've got to say, this is not my edge. This is probably a factory edge, though it's not quite as good, I would say, as the Spreacher. But there again, the Spreacher has my 20K Gukomyu Suhiru edge on it, and this one doesn't, which means I might put the Rigarazor back to the stones. Yeah, there is a very slight dragging. Don't like that. This is no condemnation of the Rigarazor, which is made from very similar, very, very high grade modern steel. the same as the Spreacher. I think this needs a very slight touch up, so we'll do that next time. Let's go back to the Spreacher. Yeah. Anyway, this isn't a test of makes. That's very unfair. This is purely a holdability test to see whether or not quarter hollows are as comfortable to shave with, and they're pretty good. You lose a little bit of feedback because, as you can probably hear on my other naff video, you can barely hear a quarter hollow cutting because it's a very rigid blade. But if you're starting off straight razor shaving, I don't think it really matters too much what you start with. You'll get used to it. But as our Meisterhoner and shave master Gary Hayward says, on the whole, I would say a full hollow is the more easy to shave with. But this is good. It used to scare me, these extreme quarter hollows. Mostly because of the lack of feedback. I'm going to give one more little test out of the two. Under the chin is an absolute bugger to get right. That's probably, for most people, under the chin is difficult. And I would prefer under the chin with a full hollow because they flex more. A half hollow, you do get a small amount of flex, but probably not as much, nowhere near as much as a deep full hollow. For anybody thinking of venturing into the wonderful world of straight razor shaving, I honestly believe probably a 5/8 for those that like small razors, but usually a 6/8 full hollow by a reputable manufacturer, but ideally not with a factory edge, because most factories can't put an edge on a razor. Unbelievable as it sounds, but I've not come across very many factory edges that are any good at all. I think most people who've shaved often enough will say it's better to give your razor to a Hohenmeister. We have many. Yeah. Fresh bit of soft lala. Going against the grain. That's nice. But you've got to be a little bit more cautious for the simple reason there's no flex. Absolutely none at all. What you're doing is you're putting an axe blade against your skin. And it works. Practice makes perfect though. You won't get this overnight. And that's the joy of straight razor shaving. You only get better. You really do. And of course you get the best shave that's possible. Ah, that's nice. Also, you get the big advantage of learning how to coordinate your muscle memory to your brain to your fingers. Yeah. Sometimes when I've finished a shave, I will actually stop the video rather than being too boring, and I'll have a little trim. And one of the great joys of straight razor shaving is the ability to trim up afterwards and have a little, oh, I missed that little bit there, and you know, And of course, the straight razor you can get in anywhere with. Whereas your safety razor and that diabolical of all razors, your plastic disposable, you can't actually get in everywhere. Whereas these little fellas, you can. So forgive my rather rushed technique. I'm due any minute now to be on the seafront. Anyway, the Rigarazor is still doing a good job. It's just, as a comparison, the edge on the Max Spreacher was better. Which is not denigrating in any way this wonderful Rigarazor. In fact, I'm very tempted to get another. They have a style about them which is unmatched. Not a beginner's razor, which is rather contrary to what I said earlier, meaning you can get used to any razor, be it quarter hollow, half hollow, even a Chevette. But I would say, rather than going down the route of experimentation, which is what I've done, I would say take the advice of others, and if they are all saying, which they do, probably starting off on a full hollow from a reputable maker, to snatch one out the air, Boca, but to get one which is shave ready by someone that knows what they're doing. Or you'll be put off. But once we're talking about quarter hollows, they're in another category. They're a little bit Formula One compared with your average team eraser. Anyway, I'm going to finish off now, chaps. I hope this wasn't unkind to any of these marvellous makers. But I would say on the edge side of things, the Max Spreacher, and I'm going to probably refresh the Rigarazor very slightly. Well, that's actually quite a nice shave. Another time I'm going to do a shootout between top end full hollows and we'll see how they perform. All I can say is reasonably nice soap, the Martin de Condre. I'm totally ignorant about such things, so don't take any notice of what I say, please. All I know is steel. I know nothing else. Anyway, chaps, there you have it. There is a very quick shave with very good results. No complaints at all. I'm going to wash some of this stuff off. I'm due out any minute. I want to mow down some pedestrians and dog walkers. They're the most excellent obstacles to skate round. But the worst are these strange little creatures that go on the seafront with either electric scooters or little electric cars, the model cars, at great speed, annoying everybody. Anyway, that's another matter, another subject. How about that? I'm not claiming it to be full BBS because I didn't have the time, but I would say I'm now looking modestly respectable. Anyway, chaps, do subscribe if you find any of this amusing. Martin Shave Tests, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.